Hi, how you going? This is not the video that I was planning on making this month and what I set out to make, but we're almost at the end of October, so I think it's probably the wrong time to make that horror recommendations video. And there's something that has stopped me in my tracks that have, it's impeded my progress. Not just the things that have happened in my life in the last 2 weeks. Some shit's been going on in my life, in the last couple of weeks, especially last week. And it has stopped me from, making that horror video. And also, there's been one little individual that has stopped me from talking about horror and instead shifting focus to her. And I'm talking about one Miss Taylor Swift. I went and saw the Eras concert film on the weekend, and I had an absolute blast. And I'll talk about that in a second. I first just want to talk about my association with Taylor Swift leading up to the film. I would say I'm a fan of hers. Wouldn't say I'm a swiftie, but I just actually, you know what? If you're a fan of Taylor Swift, I guess you are a Swiftie. So, I guess I'm outing myself as a Swiftie here. But I don't really follow in the behind the scenes drama or who she's dating or anything like that. I just think she's immensely talented, and I really enjoy her music. But I came in late in the game into the Taylor Swift fandom, or loving Taylor Swift. My sister listened to her when I was younger, and during that was during the Speak Now, Fearless era. And, I wasn't really into that kind of music back then. I've since definitely grown as a human being and enjoy all types of music. And I didn't think she was all that. Silly me. Really, honestly, silly me. Silly me. And then throughout the years, I listened to all the hits that came on the radio and on Channel V in Australia, on Foxtel, and watched all the music videos. And, some songs I caught on to me. I Knew You Were Trouble from Red, Blank Space from 1989. And then the rest of them kind of fell for the cracks. I mean, I think I did like Wildest Dreams back then, but not too much. And I guess I would just passively would put her on the playlist and listen to her. Listen to those couple of songs every now and then, but not really dive into her discography. But that changed in 2019 when I checked out her Miss Americana documentary from Sundance, which went onto Netflix. And I since watched that and appreciated her more as an artist. And that got me to then watch the Reputation tour. And as much as I really don't like that album, except Getaway Car, I really enjoyed the show. I thought she was amazing live. I loved all of the other songs that she performed as well, because it wasn't just Reputation. It was other songs as well, Blank Space being one of them, and some of her older songs as well. So from then on, the current album that was out in 2019, I think, was Lover. So I listened to Lover, didn't like a lot of it, but hung on to songs like Cornelia Street, Paper Rings, Cruel Summer, and Lover, even though that wasn't really loved by a lot of people. I actually didn't mind that song. And the other tracks, not so much, especially Me and Nearly Calm Down. Just wasn't really into those ones. I went further into her discography because then she released Folklore and Evermore in I think it was the next year. I think it was 2020 she released those two. Maybe Evermore was 2021. But I really enjoyed those albums. Actually really enjoyed those albums. And then that's what propelled me to go back and listen to all of her discography, and all the way back to her self-titled. You could say I went on the journey, the Taylor Swift journey, and now I'm a really big fan of hers. When the Eras tour was announced a few months ago, I didn't even think about getting tickets. I was just like, no, they're going to be ridiculously expensive, and plus they're going to be extremely hard to get. So I was fine with that. I was resigned myself to the fact that I would just not see her live. It's fine. I'll just listen to her music. And then she came out and announced that she is doing an Eras concert film. And I was like, hold on a second. What? And and then it turns out she was pushing Exorcist Believer back a week. So she would premiere on Friday, October 13th, Friday the 13th. That is how powerful she is. She can push a horror film not to come out on October, Friday the 13th, push it a week earlier so she could have that weekend. And so far she's made like what, $95 million domestically. I think, I don't know about worldwide, but domestically she's made 95 million, around there. So leading up to it, I was pretty excited. I was happy to see it on the big screen. If I couldn't see her live, I was happy to see the Errors film, and probably not see it with a bunch of people since my work schedule wasn't allowing me to see her on opening night or anything like that. So I saw it Sunday night. Not a lot of crowd there. And I sat there for 2 hours and 45 minutes and was just blown away by what I was watching. Let's talk about the film itself. This is, like a 2 hour, 45-minute concert film. It comprises of all of her albums, all the way back to the self-titled. There are some songs that don't make it onto the concert film. They are still like in the show, I believe, but they didn't make it into the concert film. There was a song that I didn't think we were going to hear, and then we did hear that. As well. So there's a lot of surprises in this concert film, and there's a lot of just a lot of good shit. What I loved most about it, she nails every note perfectly. She is absolutely immensely talented, like I said before, and it really shows in this filming. I liked watching her live on the Reputation tour, but this thing is a whole of a beast. Like, this era's concert film is a whole of a beast. Not only is it, like, as I said, has a gargantuan length, it spans all the eras. And what I liked about the film itself is, before each era starts, there's a title card that says what era it's going to be performed. And usually there's usually about 3 to 5 songs that she does from each era. There's some that are really, really short. Speak Now I thought was really short. I think it was like one song from Speak Now. And Fearless I thought was cut down as well. But that was to make way for some surprises that happened throughout the night that I really, really enjoyed. Now, the show itself, I actually am like, I love watching concert films. Especially this year, we had Kendrick Lamar and the Big Steppers tour, which I thought was such a great show. We had Weekend live at SoFi Stadium, the After Hours Until Dawn tour. It's better than the other thing he did on HBO, that's for sure. So I've always liked concert films. My favorite one would probably be, this might be a contention for my favorite one now. But my favorite one that I've always loved, I've got it on Blu-ray, I've got the 10th anniversary, was the Robbie Williams live at Nebworth in 2003, when he was doing his, I think it was the summer, I think it was called Summer of Something tour. But out of that, we got the Live at Nebworth DVD. I had that on DVD, and now I've got that on the 10th anniversary Blu-ray. So that, I think, might still be my favorite, but I have to watch like Errors again to kind of see where it stands. Point is that I really like concert films. I love watching artists perform live, and it was just so good to see one on the big screen, and not only the big screen, but in Dolby Atmos. It sounded absolutely incredible. It sounds like it's like you're there, honestly. I know it's not going to be same as the live experience, but it really makes you feel like you're actually at the show, and that's thanks to Sam Wrench's directing as well. He picks all of the best angles that you can get of Taylor, whether she's in all of these different structures on the stage, either she's interacting with fans, interacting with her backup dancers, her backup vocalists, her live band as well, because each song it's all performed live. There's no like pre-recorded tracks. I think I did spot like a mixer at the back, but most of it is like a live band as well, and it just sounds absolutely incredible. The crowd is going nuts as well. There's a lot of great shots of the crowd reacting and going nuts as well. And it's just so infectious. The energy that she produces throughout the show, the stage presence that she has, it's just so infectious. And it was such an absolute joy to watch. All 3 hours, I didn't feel a lick of the runtime because I was just fucking locked in and enjoying myself the whole 3 hours. And I loved how every era was represented on stage, and my favorite one would definitely have to be Evermore's era. I love Evermore as an album, but to actually hear those songs like Champagne Problems and Marjorie live, like it was really, 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 really cool to see that, and just like how she was able to bring that vibe and that energy from that era onto the stage, and it really feels like you're going through the forest and it's all magical and like a fairy tale. So she fucking nailed that era, and that was definitely my favorite one. I think my second favorite one would probably be the Red Era because it's just so fun. And, you know, there's a great surprise at the end of the Red Era as well that she does. And I mean, I loved it. It feels like it's a big moment happening right now. And it's definitely worth seeing on a big screen. Like, I think it's going to probably get a streaming release later on. I assume it will just go to Netflix since a lot of her stuff is already on Netflix. But if you can, go see this on the big screen. Even if you're not a Taylor Swift fan, I think you'll come out of this and appreciate her music and appreciate her a lot as an artist, and dive into her music and maybe make yourself a Taylor Swift fan. Become a Swiftie, you know, like everyone. Because I'll tell you what, like I listened to these eras again, and it made me go back and listen to Evermore again and Folklore again, and we just had Speak Now come out, but listen to those. But like listen to the other tracks that I wasn't really thinking about and went back and listened to them as well. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with this movie. It is definitely one of the best concert films I've ever seen. And everything about it, like her presence, her backup dancing, the backup dancers, the backup vocalists, the live band, the projections, the stagecraft of it all, everything about it. There's so much effort been put into it, and it's so worth it seeing on the big screen. So it's a huge recommendation to go see Taylor Swift The Eras Tour if you still can. And if it comes to streaming, chuck it on and enjoy that. Enjoy those 3 hours that you have with her because it's such a magical, magical time. That's it. Thank you. So a little bit of an outro here. Instead of the horror recommendations that I said I was going to do, what I'm going to do is I'll do a end of the month watch list or whatever, or, you know, what I watched thing at the end of the month, but I'll dedicate a whole section to horror films and talk about what I watched horror-wise in October, because I've been going through the Saw franchise at the moment and watching all those. I think I'm up to number 6 now, and I wanted to see Saw X in theaters, my first Saw film in theaters. So you'll get that as well as everything else that I watched. As well, I'll be talking about TV shows as well, Fall of the House of Usher, and you'll just get a big list at the end of the month. And I am still playing Resident Evil on Twitch if you want to go to, you know, it'll be in the description below, but go to twitch.tv/kylecroese, and I'm playing Resident Evil 2 this month as well. Done about all month because work has really made me quite busy. But yeah, I'm doing all that still. Hopefully can stick to it. Depends what's going on, because I went for a pretty crazy thing on the weekend. So I'm just trying to like rest and recover from that. So, yeah, that's it, guys. Sorry about the schedule being all messed up again, but here's the video, and I'll do a podcast as well talking about all the movies I've seen recently as well. I'll put that out towards the end of the month. That's it. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.